How are corporations taxed on dividends received? In this video, I will explain how corporations are taxed on dividends received. The first concept that you need to understand is the difference between connected and non-connected corporations. Canadian corporations receive dividend income from both connected and non-connected Canadian corporations. A corporation is connected if it owns at least 10% of the voting stock of the other corporation. For example, where you have a holding corporation owning 100% of the voting shares of a subsidiary corporation, then the two corporations are connected. When a Canadian corporation receives a dividend from a non-connected Canadian corporation, a special tax of 33% is imposed on the amount of the dividend received. In other words, for every $1,000 of dividends received by a Canadian corporation from a non-connected Canadian corporation, $333 of this special Part 4 tax becomes payable. The second concept that you need to understand is regular corporate income tax. Regular corporate income tax does not apply to dividends received by a Canadian corporation from another Canadian corporation. In other words, Canadian intercorporate dividends are not subject to regular corporate tax, regardless of whether or not the corporations are connected or non-connected. The third concept is foreign corporate dividends. The corporate taxation of a dividend received from a foreign corporation depends on whether that foreign corporation is earning income from an active business outside of Canada in a treaty country. For example, assume that you have a Canadian corporation that owns 100% of the shares of a subsidiary corporation in the US. Further assume that the US corporation carries on an active business in the US. Here's the result. Since Canada has a tax treaty with the US, and because the dividends were received from a corporation carrying on an active business in a treaty country, the dividends received by the Canadian corporation are not taxable to it. So here's the tip. Whenever you're dealing with corporate dividends, consult an accountant because the tax rules are very complex. If you like this tip and want to know more, drop us a comment below or visit madanca.com. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can bring you great tax tips every week.